What is going on, everybody? We are live on this Thursday evening. I feel like I'm a little zoomed in. I ate some spaghetti. Do I like? I feel like there was spaghetti all over my face there. Hopefully everybody's doing well. This fine Thursday, I was gonna say Christmas Eve before NXL, but that's not what this is. This is the NXL Las Vegas Eve. We're going to talk about some stuff today. What do we have to talk about? We're going to talk about, obviously, like the title of this says, Virtua's going to sue Virtua. We'll talk about Las Vegas, the tournament coming up here. We have a 10-man layout we're going to talk about. Go Sports released like a practice hype video we'll probably watch for a little bit there. And then we got some more information on the Adrenaline Luxe Idol that was released 6 days ago, this past Friday. So hopefully everybody's well. I see some of you already here in chat, already chatting up what Virtue's talking. Or the Virtue, not what they're talking about, but the Virtue, whatever. Floss next time. Do I have lots of stuff in my teeth? No, we're good. Brad Nolan, how are you? So I don't know. Let's just jump right into this. We're just going to talk about whatever is going on with Virtua here. Virtua and Virtua Paintball. And let's first talk about what Virtua actually is. So Virtua, this might take a second to open for us. It's opening. We're getting there. I've had all kinds of weird keyboard problems today. Like my keyboard wasn't working earlier, but am I not logged in? Oh, for Christ's sake. I am going to, bear with me, we gotta log in. We're not gonna watch ads in this thing. So I'm gonna pull this over really quick and log in. For some reason we are not logged into anything. You know there was like that big like outage, like Facebook and all that big huge outage they had, so am I going to sign in with my pass key? I don't know. I just started using pass keys, so I don't know. Okay, we're logged in. Let's put that window back. I just don't want to watch ads. For some reason, I don't know why we're not logged in. Virtua Paintball. So Virtua Paintball is a new, unreleased, still in the beta phases, new, I don't know, video game. They said they were going to release it for all platforms. It's available on Steam, or was available on Steam the last time I checked, a couple weeks ago. Only available for PC, though, so that's kind of why we haven't played it on here. I don't have a personal computer. Well, I do, you know, I just don't have a Windows computer. It looks really good, though, but we're not really here to specifically talk about that. We're going to talk about them getting sued. And we got a little bit of content here. Let's see. So the first, I have so many things right now going on. There's so many like dealios. So yeah, we saw this really about a week and a half ago now. And I don't know. I didn't really want to talk about it, but everyone started to ask and find out more information. Yes, this one right here. Let's go back to that first page because there's actually 3 of these. So essentially what they're saying in all of these is, well, let's just read like the first, I don't know, let's just read a bit of it. Today, Black Zebra Studios, the gaming company founded by professional paintball players Brett Messer and Remy Lacombe, and the creators of the newly announced Virtua Paintball game, wishes to inform our supporters and values advertising partners of a recent legal proceeding initiated against us. So essentially, we have, well, it says it right here, we have been made aware that a lawsuit has been filed by Virtua Paintball alleging that our Virtua Paintball infringes upon their trademark. Yes, and apparently the first time they talked about this was at World Cup last year, so like, you know, 6 months ago-ish or something like that. So this was the first thing they posted, and there wasn't a whole bunch of information in here. It just talks about how they're gonna, I don't know, continue developing the game and stuff like that. And then they posted this, which says, yesterday, our efforts to defeat, this was like 3 days ago. Yesterday, well, I forgot I had it in a slideshow. Oh, I'm clicking the wrong thing. Nope. Pause. Yesterday, our efforts to defeat a preliminary injunction sought by Virtue failed. The judge ordered that we cease the use of Virtua's brand name that we have already agreed to do. Which seems kind of weird. You know, maybe that's just a legal way of saying, like, you legally have to. You know, your word's not good enough, so they have to, like, the judge has to tell you. We felt a preliminary injunction was unnecessary as we already agreed to cease use of the name, and the hearing itself bears considerable cost for both parties. This is to say nothing of the $10 million, yes, $10 million in damage Virtue seeks from us for litigation, from us as litigation continues. So what I feel about this, right? First, let's go. Let's play something. I've had some thoughts on this before this ever came to light. And let's open. We're gonna go back over to the browser window because there's, you know, we've talked about Virtua Paintball a handful of times. On the channel before, and I want to like plug in my headphones so I can actually hear this, so I actually know that everybody can hear it. Okay. And I think I got the audio muted. It's hard with that Instagram thing, like looking at an Instagram post. Oh gosh, I'm totally not in the right thing here. Okay. Paintball company called Virtual Paint. See, it's already bad. Let's start that over. But these are just my comments of what this was like. This was in November. This was like November 30th. So this was pretty much right after World Cup. You can even see that they have their like big, huge, easy up Virtua banner. I think Harrison Fry right there playing. Instagram account. And let's just put this on. Virtua Paintball. So if you guys are actually, that's me right now. Volume on. I'm gonna kill everybody with less sound. Yeah, if you guys aren't familiar, Virtua Paintball. It's a bit confusing because there's also a paintball company called Virtual Paint. See, it's already bad. Virtua Paintball. We all know Virtue. You know, they make the Spire and they make that chronograph. They make squeegees. They have barrel covers, you know, stuff like that. And then we have Virtua Paintball, which is going to be a game. Beta comes out tomorrow. I signed up for the beta. That's kind of all I guess I said. I didn't say like a crazy amount there. Just that I find it very, very odd. You know, I think that when, like, Dark Rendition, dude, you're awesome. I want to finish my thoughts on this. I don't want to get too sidetracked. I got you, though. I'll read your comment and question and stuff. Yeah, I just feel like it's very odd, right? I mean, if you're going to start a business, I think that you have to name and brand yourself something that stands out, right? And to me, Virtua Paintball was confusing right away, right? I still want to say Virtua Paintball. And it's confusing in two ways, right? I said in the beginning of that last little clip, it's Virtual Paintball because that was actually a thing as well. It's kind of like faded off now as a game a long time ago. But that even makes it confusing. And then now we have Virtua Paintball and it's already bad. We have Virtua Paintball and then Virtua Paintball. And the crazy thing is that their booths were apparently right next to each other at World Cup. So it was very odd. And I just think it's really, really crazy to name your brand that. It just seems so odd to me. You got to make it something different and unique, right? It'd be like if some random company in paintball started a paintball brand that was called like Paintball Helped My Life or like Paintball Something My Life. It's like, you know, that's very, very similar to my name. And I just find it very odd. It's not like a good way to do branding or marketing or anything because it's going to confuse your customer, right? I mean, obviously they're two totally separate products, but if you don't have like a ton of back knowledge on what Virtue is and what Virtua is, it just seems like it's going to be very confusing. And I forgot to do this ahead of time, but one of the things that I noticed, if you type like in Google, let's make sure this works still. Oh, I cannot type Virtua Paintball. And I guess it's coming up now, but at one point in time when you just Google search Virtua Paintball, Google would autocorrect it to be Virtue Paintball. And like, that's not really good. So like, I kind of understand this, right? I kind of understand Virtue's like problem with this. It totally makes sense. You know, if I was Virtue, I would probably sort of do the same thing, right? I don't 100% know if I would like file a lawsuit because, you know, if they, you know, apparently this is, these are some comments that Chris Williams, the owner of Virtue, said, and right here in number 4, he said, we immediately approached them before the event started. So this was even before the World Cup tournament started. We immediately approached them before the event started, so 6 months ago, and said that it's not a great conversation to be having. It's so hard to read. I tried to make this text bigger, it's a problem. But after the event, they need to make name changes and we'd be so small and we'd have no problem moving forward. At first there was openness and the next day it got a bit aggressive and were essentially told they did not want to discuss it anymore and to call their lawyers, which is probably the right thing to do. You know, I'm not an attorney and none of them are attorneys. So it's probably better to have attorneys kind of go over that. And this is even more interesting. I kind of knew this. It kind of rings a bell, but it's kind of not, I don't know. I might have heard of this. But even Virtue was going to release a Virtue Optic instead of calling it the Vio. But GI Sports or Key or whoever they had actually owned that, and they had to stop and then completely rename the mask. So all that effort they put in, they had to go and change the name of the mask. Exactly like they do with Virtua. And it would really, really suck if, you know, you were the Virtua and you spent all this money on all the easy ups and branding and marketing the game and doing all that stuff to have to switch and retool the whole thing and spend all that money redoing all those like assets and, you know, all that stuff. So it would just suck. So it's not like Virtue totally doesn't understand that. So I think it's crazy to name the company Virtua. I always thought that was kind of crazy. The one thing I don't truly understand though, and I would assume the part that people are most upset about is going to be that $10 million. Like, I truly don't understand that. Like, that's just crazy to me. Like, why they're seeking damages in the first place, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that Virtue's lost any business or any money as a result of Virtua Paintball. So that part's a little bit weird to me, and I don't know. I don't know. I know a lot of people are upset at this and upset at Virtue about this, which, you know, I don't know. I don't think that, you know, it makes any sense to sue them for $10 million. I totally get like being like, dude, stop using that name. It makes no sense. Like, it's not good for you. It's not good for us. Like, it's just odd. But $10 million, it seems a little wild. But I don't know. You know, it reminds me, obviously, very much about, you know, Smart Parts. And even if Smart Parts back in the day when they started suing everybody, even if they were in the right, you know, even if Smart Parts had the, you know, legal standing and, you know, they were in the right the whole time, it's very difficult because you just lose the popular opinion, right? I mean, everybody hated Smart Parts. Dark Rendition with their $5. And I got, oh, you actually did leave that one earlier. I still got you though. I'll read you. Yeah, even though, you know, they might both the companies, Virtue and Smart Parts, might be in the right, they're certainly losing the public opinion. I mean, everybody's super mad at Virtue, so they're definitely losing. You know, before this even started, guys were in the chat like talking about how Virtue, like Corey James says, big L for Virtue on this one. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I just think the money, suing for money, is really the problem that I have with it, and this doesn't really make all that much sense. And then there's this big thing about growing paintball and, you know, how it's not good for paintball, but I don't know. It's like, you know, they're a business and they're in this business to make money, right? It's like Virtue started a company to make business and to try to make a living off paintball and, you know, whatever, have fun. But I don't know. Dark Rendition again. You look like someone I know, which is weird. They don't play paintball. That picture just looks like my friend Chris. You're killing it. Schwartz says Dark's going hard in the paint. Yeah, I appreciate it. Shit, I mean, I was going to say, you know, Virtue, they, you know, started a business and their whole point is to make money, right? And I mean, if none of these companies make any money, that's not really good for anyone because there'd be no point in having a company, right? You need to go do something else to make money to live your life. And it's the same reason I have this channel, right? If there was no way for me to make money from doing anything, like the gracious super chats, especially Dark Rendition, I mean, you're killing it. Without your guys' support, you know, without being able to make money off YouTube, without the gracious people that support on Patreon, without, you know, sponsors like BFP gear, this wouldn't be possible. So if I couldn't make money, I wouldn't be doing it. It's just that easy. You know, that's how everything works. So I don't know. Like, I kind of get it. But at the same time, it just kind of sucks to see, you know, fighting within paintball and all that stuff. Dark Rendition, again, you're crazy. So yeah, paintball, people are suing each other. And I think the one reason that we see lawsuits too is because a lot of people aren't making a ton of money. It's not like Virtue's rich. It's not like the guys are driving around Ferraris and living in mansions and stuff. You know, it's like they probably make a good living, but I've got friends that work at, you know, Facebook and Google and TikTok that make way more money. Dark Rendition, let's read this thing. Dude, your super chats are freaking awesome. There's even more of you guys coming in. I appreciate it so goddamn much. Please give as generously as you can to support content that helps attract new players to paintball in order to support the expansion of the sport. Yeah, you know what's crazy? I really do appreciate it. Schwartz with that $10 or $9.99, I should say. Hit that like button to make Dark Rendition happy. You make me happy too, you know. Liking these videos certainly helps. I mean, it kind of helps YouTube know that what I'm saying people like. So give the live stream a like. I don't know. That's my spiel, kind of on lawsuits and paintball, but with another $2, God, you're killing it. Like, I have to give everyone little heart likes on the super chats. Yeah, we don't really know what's happened in this whole thing, right? Because it's kind of like we don't really know. I mean, you know, Chris said that they tried to talk at World Cup, and then they didn't want to talk about it. And I don't know. This was Black Zebra Games, their reply to Chris. Which I don't know. I'm reading it really fast. This is also what I don't understand. It says, in this thing, it says, I felt then and still do to this day that a partnership with Virtue would have been of mutual benefit if you took the time to understand our mission. I don't understand that. Again, they're businesses. I mean, honestly, both of these people are in it to make money. So, I don't know. And a partnership, yeah, a partnership would be even more confusing because then it's like Virtua, what are you guys talking about? Which company is which? They'd just be all over the goddamn place. Dark Rendition, $50. Crazy fact, someone left a $300 super chat one time. That's awesome, dude. I appreciate it so much. Give a like and add an irrelevant comment. It does help. Totally irrelevant. It doesn't matter. You can just be like, shit on a brick. And it's like, hey. Again, dude, I very much appreciate it. Very much. You kind of help make this whole thing go. Because without super chats, I probably wouldn't even be doing this live stream. I'll tell you that much. So, thank you. I don't know. I know that let's look at Black Zebra. Like if we look at the Black Zebra Instagram account, and Instagram never works well on this. I hope we don't have to like log in. There's going to be a big banner at the bottom blocking everything. Let's go to this one. Oh my gosh. I think if we open a new tab, it's okay though. Everyone just hates them. Man, it really won't let me see all these comments unless I'm logged in, but everyone over on their Facebook account or their Instagram account's just shitting on Virtue. Like it says Virtue is a bunch of beta cucks. Lots of guys though, like Ryan Rodarte, you know, you got Ronnie Dizon. There's a lot of pro guys in there commenting as well, and I don't know. Like, you know, I totally get it. So, who knows? Who wants Virtue to go out of business? That's what, a lot of people are like, boycott Virtue. It's like, man, you guys are killing me. You guys are killing me here. So give the live stream a like. We've got 41 right now. There's 91 of you watching. That's about half. That's probably about right. We have that Dark Rendition with another goddamn dollar, dude. You're killing it, dude. You're killing it. Some brains. F Virtue. You know, I don't know. I just don't agree with the like royalties thing. Like, I don't understand how they could claim that even. It's kind of crazy. You just bought an Adrenaline. Let's talk about that. We might as well. The Adrenaline Luxe Idol was officially released like 6 days ago, I said earlier, and it's insane. I mean, the milling on it is just wild. It's got that kind of dragon theme. And we can kind of see, that's what those scales really are. They're kind of supposed to represent like dragon scales. And what's really kind of interesting about this too is each one of these milling marks has kind of been like custom designed to fit over the thing. It's crazy. I think one of the better parts of the gun too, I really, really like how they were able to do milling in places that we're not probably used to seeing it on these private label guns, right? I mean, look at the back of the frame. They milled that back strap, how it has the kind of like, I don't know what we're going to call that. Not scales, but like, I don't know, that pattern, you know, right above like the LED hole you can see right there. And then they've lasered that dragon on the back, but that actually might be machined in there as well. I don't think it's really lasered. It just looks really cool. I mean, I can't imagine how long this body takes to make as well. I mean, all that machining works probably takes a very, 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 very long time. And they also carried that like, I don't know, scale-ish look into the barrel, and then that barrel back even has milling on it to match. The front foregrip cover has the front foregrip has milling. Look at that barrel. I just think the barrel looks really, really cool. The Adrenaline Luxe Idol, I want to like, you can kind of tell on there too. You can see that the frame is actually lower than the regular Idol. There's a bigger like piece of metal in between the trigger frame and that ASA, so it kind of makes the trigger frame feel a bit longer. Something that I probably would really, really like. And I'm probably getting one of the things that looks like it's gonna happen. I think I'll have an idol, an Adrenaline Idol at some point here. I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit. I'm not 100% sure when they're gonna ship. They're gonna start. I totally deleted my notes from like 2 weeks ago. I was looking at them right before this started. I was like, I really should have the actual information on this. But they started. They're kind of, I'm not even sure how they're shipping. Some of these guns have been kind of confusing to me about how like the, damn it, what was that other gun that was released recently? The Dark DSR, or they're calling it the Dark Trix, which I don't really like how they're calling it the Trix, because normally the Trix is like a matrix. Dragon Skin, there we go, Dark Rendition with that $2 super chat too. Jeez, you're killing me. So I really like it, and it's going to come also with the mechanical frame as well. So it's not just the gun. I believe, like I said, I deleted my freaking notes. But they're going to be they started at $2,200, and it kind of just depends on the anodization. They're doing a gold-plated one. There's a rhodinium-plated one. There's a bunch of different finishes and cool things you can get, and that's going to kind of dictate the price. The Adrenaline Luxe Idol. Oh, there we go. Adrenaline right there, Dragon Skin. There we go. That's easier. I was like, man, I can like visualize what it is. It's so hard for me to like talk and think all at the same time sometimes. It doesn't compare to my old 98 Custom though. I got an A5 back there. About all I've got. Corey James says, have you seen the Nova N2 Dreadnought that released yesterday? They're $7.99 on Nova's website. I definitely knew about them, but I have not. I didn't know they actually released it though. Let's look at it. I actually sent them an email a couple days ago, like a month ago, asking if they could. If they could like hook it up with a gun, hook it up with a N2, not an N2, no, the N4. I always get the names confused. The N2, a Dreadnought. Let's look at this one. What happens if we like open it in a new tab? I think it looks really cool. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really know a lot about the Novas, we've talked about them a little bit here and there. They have some that are very similar to the original Nova, like the N1. That's going to be the closest thing to the original Nova. Then we have their N4, which is the newest version, and it's a very good price, only at $200. And I know a lot of people like them. I've just never seen one in person. It's probably not a gun that I would see all that often. That's kind of why I wanted them to try to hook it up with one so we could like review it and compare it to the EMEC. N2 Dreadnought. Does anybody in here have a Nova? Looks like they got one. They got this one in stock. Yeah, I just don't know much about them, and they obviously didn't really talk about it much there either, so. The N4 is so much fun. Corey says he has the N2, I believe. That's what you're saying down there. They're only $200, which is kind of crazy. That's kind of how I feel about the EMEC. I love the thing so much, mainly because it's just so inexpensive. The thing's priced so well that it's just a very good value. It looks like an RSX. Oh, it kind of does look like an RSX, doesn't it? Yeah, I can see that. That foregrip looks pretty cool, though. I'd probably really like the foregrip. I like how in the EMEC it kind of goes in at the front. It does look cool. I like how the grips are aluminum. That's kind of neat. Or aluminium, we should say. The new trigger upgrade for the N4 makes it fly, too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care about that stuff at all. I know some people do. But to me, it's like, I don't know. If I have a single trigger mechanical gun, I'm not really trying to shoot all that fast, so... yeah. Adrenaline says, I almost accidentally mentioned in our live stream when talking about our adjustable ASA, but Powerhouse released their new mid-body today, a little bit ago. A new in-between length. Oh, really? I think that I saw Infamous was like, said something like a couple days ago. They got a big, like, warning. Look, it's like the Powerhouse, the whole entire Powerhouse website goes over to Infamous's website now. You hit shop and it goes over there. Golly, guys. So mid-body, and that's the original, like, TKO reg. I don't know. So they have the mid-body that's just probably like a 1/4 of an inch longer or something like that. These regulators are just so expensive. I mean, $180 is just a lot for a reg. I mean, my whole tank is worth that much. There's so many cool colors, though. Some of the milling they're doing on them is really cool. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I mean, I like the Powerhouse stuff so much. It's very, very, very well made. It's just super expensive. And it's just a little bit longer. Best no-brainer warning was that NXL had to warn people, do not bring your markers on the gambling floor zones. People were walking around with their guns, like, fully loaded. They also had to tell people to, like, not wear their paintball stuff to that award ceremony. They're doing the Summit Awards Sunday evening, and they sent out that thing that was like, don't wear your paintball stuff. I thought that was kind of funny. Don't buy from Infamous. Got my limited edition reg and it came with metal shavings, damaged piston, and power puck. Well, that's not good. I don't even know if Infamous is assembling them. They probably don't have anything to do with it. They probably just get them and sell them. Dark Rendition? My God, dude. You're freaking killing it. I love Super Chats so much. They're very, very helpful. And Dark Rendition has been destroying everybody in the Super Chat game today. And if you ever want to support this channel and think that you're like, I really don't want to leave $50 Super Chats. I totally understand that. Because I don't have the money to be doing that either. So, but if you ever want to support this channel, one of the better ways to do that is going to be on Patreon. Patreon, you guys have heard about Patreon before. It's like a subscription kind of thingy. There's 3 different tiers. Certainly the gold tier is the most popular. You're going to get early access to videos. So I have a video that I worked on all week that I don't know the title yet, but it's going to be kind of on the biggest paintball failures, biggest paintball product flops. So that will be on Patreon right there about a week before the actual video comes out. You're also going to get ad-free videos, exclusive content. So I made for paintball failures, that paintball fail video, I actually made some exclusive stuff that will go specifically on Patreon. There's a couple more products that will be in that video for Patreon people. There's also this monthly giveaways. So I'm still not decided what we're doing this month. It's either going to be for any hopper of your choice. So the giveaway's the 3rd Thursday of every month. So it's actually coming up this next Thursday. The 3rd Thursday, yep. It's coming up on the 14th, so just a week from now. So it's either going to be Actually, yes. It's going to be a hopper. We're going to do hoppers. I was just thinking because I need the barrels. So this time it's going to be a hopper of your choice. So literally anything. You get a Spire 5. You get a TFX 3. You could go crazy and get a JT Revolution. So whichever person has a gold membership, by the time the live stream starts, it's going to be entered into that. So if you want to support, go over to Patreon and, you know, sign up, and you can maybe win yourself a hopper. And then the next one will probably be like a freak barrel kit that's going to include the adrenaline inserts. Head over to Patreon. Remember I talked about making money earlier? Any good recommendations of where to sell a marker? It kind of probably matters how much you want. I mean, there's a lot of places that will take very low dollar for them so they can resell the things. I'd probably say Facebook. There's Paintball Vault. PB Vault is an app you can get. Facebook's still probably the best, unfortunately. Flick Freaks with that $5 $4.99 super chat. HK Army just released a new 0G harness, the 2004 ELX. I don't know how to pronounce that harness. Also, JT in a liquid gold frames. Yes. Where the hell did my liquid gold frame thing went? Those liquid gold frames were an exclusive to the sponsor of this video. The sponsor of this whole live stream every time, right there, BFP Gear. But I think they sold them out already. They went live yesterday on their website. And I'm not 100% sure if they still have those in stock or not, because I went to check and they say all out of stock. But then I thought about contacting them, and everyone left Vegas already. So I'm like, whatever. Gold frames. And I kind of have the HK stuff here. I didn't really intend on talking about it, but we're doing it anyway. So this is HK's new harness, which is interesting. I mean, it really kind of just looks like a basic 0G harness. But if you read somewhere in here, key features, let's go right there. It says, patented X-frame technology, dominate the battlefield. They had like ChatGPT write this. Dominate the battlefield with confidence. Thanks to our patented X-frame technology. Almost fully eliminating harness bounce while running or diving, the ELX, or LX? I don't know, I gotta think about how to say that. Harness ensures that the harness securely fits to your back even during the most intense moves. So, you know, I did the other day, I was like, what are they talking about? I was like, I don't even know what they're talking about, right? Because, like, you look at it and it's like, yeah, it looks like a strapless pack, right? You're like, the back doesn't look any different, really. So I don't know what the hell they're talking about. There's a picture in here where a mark is showing the interior, but that's not really that helpful. So I don't know. I'm just kind of curious to see what it actually is, or if it's just kind of just a marketing thing. I'm curious to see if that, you know, X-frame actually works. Because from my experience, the HK packs don't move around all that much, but there's still really nothing that competes, I think, with the Kinetic KMP. That KMP is still a very good harness. The Kinetic Paintball equipment. This is my favorite pack, so I really, really like these. And whether it moves little or less than this, or about just as much, I don't know. You can actually buy one of these with a promo code. If you go to Kinetic and you buy it, you're like, I'm gonna buy this. And you go to your cart, and then you go to the checkout, and then you put in Paintball Ruined My Life 10. You can get yourself a 10% off. It kind of doesn't show it because my head's in the way, but a $13.50 savings. I really like these. So, I mean, I like them because they're, you know, helping me out. And they're just very good packs. So, yeah. The HK-LX, I don't know what the hell they call that thing. But it just looks to me like just a normal strapless harness. And whether it is like that or not, I don't know. We'll probably see one in a couple of weeks here when they start showing up places. This is also something that happened today. Something that's pretty cool. I really, 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 really like this Airball 10-man. And would really, really, really like to play Airball 10-man. So this is the 10-man layout for NXL Las Vegas. It starts tomorrow. And you can kind of see it's sort of similar to the actual layout for Vegas. So this is the 10-man, and you can see that the snake is kind of on both sides and kind of angled all inside crazy. So it's very similar to NXL Las Vegas, how they have the same snake. So this is the X-Ball tournament, or 5-man and 7-man. How they're really using the same snake idea, but taking it over to 10-man. Really like the huge-ass pyramid in the middle. I mean, playing these crazy pyramid bunkers and all that stuff just looks really fun. It reminds me of 1999 or 2000 or 2001 when they had the big JT pyramid back for 10-man. I like it a lot. And kind of look forward to just watching videos too on these fields. I think that the stuff people make, or, you know, checking out how it plays, I'm kind of curious. I really like it. And this weekend, last weekend, yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll do that one later. We're going to watch a video really quick, but we'll talk about the Las Vegas hype video that Go Sports made. And a little bit. Let's talk to Check Room. What are you guys doing? They brought back the pyramid. Hell yeah, they did. That monstrosity in the middle rules. It is cool. Stoked on the pyramid. Can't wait. Paintball fit 10-man squad for the win. Yeah, shit, probably. I mean, well, I assume it's not going to be the pro guys. Or maybe. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Forgot we had the smoke machine, but I put it in a different place, so it's not really as effective right there. Let's put it right there. But then my, like, trigger is too far away. Yeah, pyramid would be cool. Yeah, paintball fit. Yeah, I imagine they'll be pretty good. It's kind of like, even if the pro guys aren't playing, it's like they have so many good players that play out there that are playing against those guys so often that I imagine, you know, even the people that are just kind of rec players playing out there are probably pretty good. It's kind of like playing here at Capital Edge. I don't play against any of the pro players ever and stuff, but everyone's so good at Capital Edge that it's everyone just ends up being good. Jordan with that $1.99 super chat. Would you use a CS2 in a tournament in today's paintball? Hell no. No. You gotta have a CS3. Yeah, of course, you're fine. Absolutely. You know, you can, for sure. I mean, there's paintball guns that are way, way older and much, much less capable that are perfectly fine in tournaments. I mean, you could be using an 08 Ego from 2008, and you could use that if you want, and it'd work perfectly fine. So certainly the CS2 is good. Certainly. You got no problems with that. Certainly fine. I mean, it's better than, you know, any gun I've had in a long time. Well, not really. I mean, but, you know, if I played tournaments, I'd probably use an Ether 3. I love the Ether 3, so yeah, you're for sure good. So Ghost says, I still use my 05 Timmy. Someone from Norway, I don't know how to read that name. I'm using the GTEC 170R. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of There's plenty of inexpensive, good options. Unlike the CS2. The CS2 is a good, expensive option. Porter's looking forward to the USB XL. You know, I don't... Yeah, cool. I just don't know anything about the USB XL. It's not near me, really, so I don't really, like, you know, experience the USB XL. There's nothing new about a harness that goes around your waist. Yeah, for the most part. For the most part. The Kinetic Pack's quite different, though. The Kinetic Pack's definitely unique. It's a whole new take on a pack, really. I mean, pretty much everything else is just the same. Just like that HK ELX pack or LX pack. I don't know. I just picked up the first... Oh, bitch. Just picked up my first marker. It's a Shocker Era. Really? Your first one? I know I've seen you in here before. Well, hopefully you like it. I mean, I liked the Shocker Era. I thought the Era was... It's a good gun. Yeah, I like the Era. It's still just... For me, it's just too small, which is a personal thing, really, so... Yeah. What other Vegas stuff can we talk about? I know that I wanted to, one of the things I wanted to do before I was going to do is either get together my, like, predictions for NXL Vegas, and then I was like, you know what, instead of that, let's, like, put together, like, the top matches to watch. So if you're going to watch matches on, like, Friday and Saturday, you know, which ones should you put aside time to watch? And it was very difficult. Like, I don't know. I was looking at, like, which games to watch. So let's just go straight to Pro X-Ball. I was like, what games should you watch? And I'm like, okay. The first set, it's like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, the second set, because I definitely want to see how Paintball Fit plays. I want to see how Aftershock plays. And then I'm like, the third set, okay. Fourth set, you got Paintball Fit and Aftershock again, which is something I'd want to watch. That set, whatever set this is, the fifth one, You got the sixth one, which is pretty good. I'd like to watch X Factor and Diesel play, as well as Infamous and Notorious. I mean, Infamous and Notorious are kind of in the same area on the, like, leaderboard from last year. And then the next match, Red Legion and Blast Camp. And then I want to see how the Ironmen do. And then the next one, I want to watch Dynasty and Diesel, of course. I want to watch Damage. And the next one, I want to see how X Factor does against Blast Camp. And then the Ironmen are playing Infamous. And then Dynasty play Red Legion. It's like there's a bunch of really interesting matches that I'm kind of excited about. I really enjoy actually watching the NXL. I think that Go Sports do a great job. And I'm curious to see just how these new teams do as well. In Aftershock, the Ironmen have completely retooled their roster. Paintball Fit's a brand new team, as well as Blast Camp. Both those teams are new in the Pro Division. So there's just a bunch of matches. Like Aftershock Impact would be interesting. We got more Aftershock. Blast Camp and AC. Heat and Revo. We have Red Legion and X Factor. Dynasty and Blast Camp, AC and Red Legion, Damage in the Ironman. There's a bunch of matches all day Friday, and all day Saturday that'll be pretty good to watch. And speaking of which, I'm going to try to do a live stream. Well, actually, I'm not going to try to do a live stream. I'm certainly going to do a live stream on Saturday. So we're going to shoot to do a live stream. I'm going to try to live stream right then. So we're going to stream I will go online at like 12-ish or something like that before this match starts. And then I'll have the score online and we can kind of have like a watch-along thingy. And we'll see how long that goes. Maybe we'll do those 2 matches or something like that. I'm looking at the times. I mean, mainly because the time fits best for me on Saturday, so we'll for sure do that Saturday. But if you're not, go to Go Sports and get a Go Sports account and go watch some paintball. Blast Camp is going to get stomped. Are they, though? Who they have to play? Let's look who Blast Camp plays in, like, the first day. Blast Camp. Blast Camp plays Red Legion. I don't know. The Russians haven't been like that good though, so I don't know. Why do I only get like... I don't know how to use Firefox. So Blast Camp and Red Legion, and then Blast Camp X Factor. Yeah, they'll probably lose that one. Especially X Factor. Then they have to play AC and Dynasty. Talk about a hell of a first tournament. You got to play Dynasty, AC, Diesel, X Factor, and Red Legion. I mean, they might beat this Red Legion team. I'd be shocked if they beat X Factor, Diesel, or Dynasty. I mean, shit, they could beat Diesel, but X Factor or Dynasty will be crazy. And then who does Paintball Fit play? ML Kings, they could beat the Kings. I think that Paintball Fit could maybe beat Revo. I mean, they're probably pretty close. Houston Heat, they'll probably lose to, and they can probably beat Uprising. I would imagine if Uprising's not playing as well as they can, they'll lose to Paintball Fit. It's going to be interesting no matter what. It's going to be interesting. There's some storylines we get to watch. ML Kings, 1-3, best case. Oh, I'm not in the right window. Oh, what am I doing? Manuel Vera, I'm sorry. With that $4.99. Keep it up, Brad. I will. As long as you guys keep super chatting and I can keep affording to do this, we'll do it. I just like the... Whew. All of DFW is watching. Dallas, Fort Worth. Man, that was a freaking good one. Jesus. What were we talking about? I was going to look at, we were looking at ML King's possible victory. So they have to play Paintball Fit, Houston Heat, Baltimore Revo. I mean, the ML Kings could go 2-2. You know, I can see them. They can beat Uprising, of course, and they can also beat Paintball Fit, I think. I mean, but again, we haven't really seen Paintball Fit in the Pro Division, so it's kind of hard to say. It's just kind of like a shot in the dark. Whoever wins. Set off the smoke detector again. Thankfully, I took off the smoke alarms and put them way out there by the door, an open door, on the ground. Because I smoked this whole place up. When I do that, the smoke just like, that fog just like lingers out into the hallway, and then it gets all over the place. Ironman and Shock go 2-2. I think that, honestly, if I was on either of those teams, I'd probably be happy with that. I mean, seeing as, like, you know, Chicago Aftershock and the Ironman both have brand new teams, I would be okay with that, you know, if I was on either of those teams. But then again, you know, being okay with not doing well, probably not good for pro players. You know, you want to do good. Their roster's psycho, though, dude. The Aftershock roster's nuts. I mean, everyone's super good. I mean, Carlos is super good. Al's super good. Corey Hall's super good. Clayton Hughes, I'm not super familiar, but I know he played really well last year with the Ironmen. Thomas Kim, Trent Nita, I'm not 100% sure about Trent Nita either. LJ, John Parrish is good. A-Rod's obviously good. Sloviak's obviously good. Same thing about Corwin. I'm not 100% sure on Corwin. But the Ironmen are also stacked. I mean, they also have a ton of good players. They got Henry Stent, Stephen O'Mara, Damian Vasquez, Chris Treeguard. He's done really... was supposed to retire, but stuck with the team this year. Mike McGowan. Yeah, they're just going to be good. But again, we'll have to see. The team that I'm really rooting for is... Oh, we're not going to go find them, but... Yeah, we are. We're doing it. The guys that I kind of play with every single weekend are going to be playing. Is this like every team? The SAC. And then Chris, I think, is playing on there. So these are the guys who I pretty much play with every weekend. The Sacramento Street Fighters. I'm surprised Eric is not coming here and been like, SS Street Fighters. Everyone, we got Becker, we got Kay, we got Brandon, we got Jacob, we got Leo, we got Mark. Yeah, the whole gamut's there. So they're playing 7-man. They're playing open 7-man, and they have to play Image, they have to play Aftershock, they have to play Genesis. Who's even on these teams? I think these teams, this Aftershock roster is probably a bunch of old guys. Oh, JP, wow. JP Augustine? Man, he's an OG guy. Some of these guys I'm probably not 100% familiar with. Spesh Robinson's OG. Rodney Squires, you got Aaron Tholey. Morgan Walker. So there's some guys actually on that roster that are really good. And then we got the Dirty Street Fighters. They're playing something 3-man. Some sort of 3-man, I don't know. So go Street Fighters. Yeah. They're pretty good. I don't ever play tournaments though with anyone, but they win a lot of stuff. You can see they got a second. They got a first. An 11th is not very good. A first is pretty good. There's another first in there. Bunch of good dudes. Go Street Fighters. Is there a 7-man field layout? So I'm like 90% sure. Eric was here. He said he was on his flight. Okay. Let's find his comment. There it is. On the plane, headed to Vegas. Somehow we went to Denver first. I don't know. Yeah, I think the 7-man layout is exactly the same as it's the 5-man layout. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm pretty sure it's just that. Which would make sense. I mean, this 10-man field's insane. I mean, playing 7-man on this would just be psycho. I actually think playing 7-man on this is kind of psycho too. But there's so many bunkers to go to. I think on this field, I was watching practice last weekend. Practice, let's open this and we're gonna watch some of this. I gotta go there. So this is last weekend out at Capital Edge Paintball Park.
Thanks, Dave! Capital Edge is the best!
Thank you guys.
Yeah!
Yep, this is... Oh, the audio is so loud. Hold on, I can't even hear myself think. This was out at Capital Edge Paintball Park this past weekend. And I definitely... I wonder if we get demonetized for this music. I don't really know. I was at the field last weekend or on Sunday and watched. Most of this footage is probably from Saturday because it was way wetter on Saturday. But went out Sunday. I don't know. Tried to watch some points, but on the pro field, I mean, we had Dynasty, Impact, and Infamous practicing, and I don't know. They just didn't ever play. They played 1 point every 45 minutes. So I think I only watched 1 or 2 points, whereas on the field right next to it, most of the divisional teams were on, and they were just turning points around really, really fast. This is a really long video. You can go watch. We're not going to watch this whole thing. It's 20 minutes, yeah, but you can go watch it. There's a link in the description if you want to check this out. But I don't know. I didn't really watching a lot of the breakouts. There's a lot of action straight up the center, so I think they're going to see a lot of guys go to probably that center 50 off the break. Let's open, I want that layout out. So we're probably going to see, a lot of people go into the center 50 off the break. I think going to the snake is actually more difficult than it looks like. I don't think that there was a lot of action going to the snake off the break, but there was certainly a lot of action late in the game. I think that we're going to see tons of stuff up the center, though. A lot of the teams that have good center players, we're probably going to see excel on the layout.
Everybody's hungry, you know? And like, I look, every offseason I look at myself and I say, like, okay, it's not like I contemplate retirement, but I say, what am I going to do to continue to be competitive out there, you know? And I feel more energized this year than I have for many years in recent memory. I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to play with these guys, and
there's a little
cherish
audio
these
from
moments.
this.
I mean, 5 World Cups in a row would be
That's what we want.
insane.
That's what we want. But it's one step at a time, you know. Like you say we're at Everest, but really we're at base camp, right? Every tournament is gearing up to do that climb to the top, and every other team out here is also at their base camp, and everyone is getting ready to do it. The guys truly enjoy the work. I can say that, you know, and that's why
It doesn't feel like
we're out here. That's why guys work hard. They pick up
Got
coaching
that
gigs
tinted
to
lens
continue to
that's
play
like
paintball.
green inside.
These guys have become paintball because they've made paintball their entire lives. You know, I don't know that there's other teams out here that can say that. Obviously, we're old, you know, so we can say we've been paintball longer. But you know, we have a really special group of guys.
Electric. I didn't even hear
Yeah, that's Dynasty. The Dynasty. Parked behind the field.
Look at this. Look. I don't know why we've never done this. We're scared to do this.
Yeah, it's like I just came from a coal mine.
I think Dave's always the
It
voice
looks like
of
you've
reason.
been toiling in the mines all weekend long.
I always loved camp.
I thought that was cool. I was like,
Joking that I'm gonna be
I've
gone,
always
and
joked
take
about a
my
barrel
phone,
fire
my
at the
bag,
field.
my car door. My wife's gonna be like,
But like, there'd no way they'd let me do it. You know, they'd be so mad if I started a barrel fire. But somehow they can do it. I also think it's funny that they like let them film these games some, because they get all mad at me when I film. Well, not mad, but they've asked me to stop before, so I don't really film pro players anymore.
So here, let's do
Which I understand. I mean, the main reason they asked me to stop is because I was doing like raw footage of the layout and putting it up before the tournament.
cross when he can.
which probably isn't that helpful, you know, because other teams can watch their breakouts and stuff.
Jonah, let's go back to it.
But then at the same time, you know, you're practicing against the teams you're playing against, so they kind of know what you're doing also.
Play short. Like, okay, work on it. Yeah.
There's Eddie.
Okay, so
Eddie's the man. You can see his chin right there.
yeah. So what's awesome about Infamous this season, as opposed to past seasons, is typically, you know, we bring the team to a certain level and then we get cherry picked. You know, so whether or not it's, you know, they're taking my top guys over to Dynasty or wherever, you know what I mean? So being able to actually keep the same core group of guys together in the offseason is extremely important for any team, but for our team, especially, you're going to see some pretty good cohesive teamwork this year.
I thought that was Oliver for a second. It's probably Arturo. They got some rain. Yeah, this is definitely on Saturday. No, I don't know. It rained a little bit on Sunday, but very little. Only for a minute.
Hey, back left, California. Back center. I got you, Arnie. Yeah. I'm on it.
Oh, here's a good one. I'm in the way, though. That was nice. I probably would not have done that. I would have just bunkered one guy. Chris Williams with a 1999 super chat, dude. Thank you very much. Super chats make the world go round. We were talking about Chris Williams earlier. We still don't know. I'm pretty confident you're not him.
pack. wins the point. That was pretty nasty, man. Shout out to Ryan Hall, dude. Salute, bro.
Is not shoot their gun and use their advantage because they want to get a snapshot kill. I agree. Okay? So use your advantage in firepower to fucking intimidate the other guy, right? I know you want to snap shoot, I know you want the kill, but it's more about pressuring him and making him make a bad decision.
It looks like he has a
than fucking winning gunfight.
microfiber.
So if you have that advantage,
wrap.
use the advantage.
It's definitely
fucking
not.
bombing.
Probably some like cool
Dynasty,
limited
we need
hormesis
one.
products.
Infamous, I need 5.
Alex is coming.
Let's go.
I don't really know who Victor Gamboa
All the
is.
video footage is released by Monday morning for 24 hours.
Oh,
they
wow,
can
look at
review
that.
it. And it always goes down by Tuesday morning of the week of the event. It's just fair, you know? So it makes for a good film study to see what these guys are doing.
Well, I'll tell you what, Impact's been doing some hard work on criticism and conversation. That's how this is done, and I think the communication's picking it up. They've had some.
Okay, we don't have to watch this anymore. Go watch it over on YouTube. There's a link in the description. I'll talk now. I feel like it's weird when I'm not talking and we're just like watching a video. What are we talking about here? Float a drone up in the stream. Float a drone up and stream the practice. Yeah, they don't like that. What else can we talk about? What else do I got in here? We can bang out. I don't know. I mean, we talked about Virtua. We talked about Vegas a little bit. We watched that video a little bit. We got the Adrenaline Luxe. Yeah, I don't know. Chat room, give me something to talk about. Talk at me. Porter, anyone know where to get printable layouts for the 10-man field? I mean, they have here's the layout. Or no, here's the layout, You can just print those ones. Like that, right? That's just on NXL's Facebook page. You could print that one for sure. Bally Paintball Poker Tournament sucked. Yeah, I didn't even watch that. I kind of assumed it would suck. That's why I didn't watch. Jordan, who you rooting for at Vegas? I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't really care. I've not really rooted or cared for a long time. Vegas. And it's not because, I just don't care about the tournament. I'm certainly going to watch the tournament, but I'm not necessarily, all hyped up on rooting for the teams anymore. I've been in paintball for so goddamn long. It's just kind of not... I don't know. I don't really have, a team that I want to win. But I always want to see the teams that aren't as good do well. So any of these teams down here on the bottom... I want to do well. I want Aftershock, the Bears, and Uprising, and Fit, and Ironman, and Notorious, and Diesel, and maybe not Diesel so much. Blast Camp, the Hurricanes, ML Kings, Aftermath. I want the teams that just aren't as good to do well. I think that's a little bit more interesting. Mainly because it's just more fun to watch. I think that they appreciate it more and whatever. You get teams like Dynasty and Damage and Heat and Impact and stuff. They've won a lot of stuff. And I don't want to say they don't appreciate it. I mean, obviously they do. But it's kind of maybe a little bit more meaningful to those lower division teams. So, yep. Where can you watch 10-man? Probably nowhere. I don't think that they're going to have anything for it. I imagine we're only going to see... 5-man X-Ball stuff on the webcast. They're probably not going to be a 10-man live stream. They do have a live stream for semi-pro, though. If you go to the Major League Paintball YouTube channel or Major League Paintball, maybe the NXL YouTube channel, they're probably going to stream simultaneously on there. But they'd certainly do it on the Major League Paintball one. So, yeah. Good surprise or bad surprise? Which pro team gets the most penalties? That's kind of a fun thing to watch. I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you. Aftermath? I mean, Aftermath seemed to like historically get a lot of penalties. Jordan, for sure. Did you ask who I was rooting for? It'd be dope to see the new team start to win events. Yeah, I just think it just makes it a little bit more interesting. While at the same time, you know, I really do enjoy watching like, you know, the higher end teams. You know, like I want to watch Damage and Heat and X Factor and, you know, those teams because they're so good. I mean, you see individual skill that shines a lot, but at the same time, it's just a little bit more interesting. I keep seeing that, so it's got to be true, right? Tim, who's your favorite player? I think my favorite player, like, to watch play paintball, is probably Alexander Bridnikov from Red Legion. I think Bridnikov is probably one of the most talented players that paintball's ever seen, for sure. So Alexander Bridnikov is mind-blowing to me. I think off of the paintball field, probably Fragi, probably Alex Fragi, because Fragi's just kind of funny and has a good time. But definitely Bridnikov. He's just crazy. John says, great 180R review. Thank you. Picked one up yesterday. Thank you for always providing honest content. Adrenaline, I gotta email you back. My last days have been insane. $30 super chat. We're getting rich tonight, boys. Your prior review of the TM40 where you said, this is what I was curious about. I actually was going to look into this. I was like, I want to watch back the TM40 review and see what I said about it. Your prior review of the TM40 where you said it would be perfect if, God, I cannot read. If we're bigger, helped us make it longer and taller with a thicker foregrip. Really? Here's your design compute contribution fee for ergonomics. Is it really? I know that we obviously talked about... man, I got so much stuff open. Yeah, we definitely talked about how the gun's a little taller. It's hard to, like... I can't, like, draw on the screen. But you guys can kind of see right there. See the seam? Kind of where there's the grip, and there's about 1/4 of an inch, and then there's the seam right where that ASA kind of mounts up to the frame. So that right there, that little, like, section below the frame before the ASA is not there on the TM40. Damn, and the front grip is actually bigger? Does it look? It looks kind of fatter at the top. There's some Luxe Idol stuff. So yeah, you can see right there how it's like a little taller. Man, I don't have any like side angle grip photos though. Oh wow. It's like way bigger, huh? Dang. Wow. It is quite a bit larger, huh? Dang, it's way fatter. That's crazy. I wouldn't have noticed probably just looking at pictures. But you can also see right there how the grip frame's longer. You can see how the grip's longer as well right there. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, it's Cocker thread too. I forgot about that. The see, this is why I deleted all my notes for some reason. The the cocker threads make it longer. I was wondering about that as well, because obviously, like, you know, like an angel, that like barrel shank part is about twice as long as the cocker. The cocker threads make it longer, so we just took the grip straight up. I get it. It's much thicker upper half. The ASA has a built-in 1/2 inch slide rail, so that's why it's taller. That's also why I thought, like, that's what that screw, not screw, but like that hole is on the back of the frame too, I presume. Maybe right there. There's that little teeny hole above the ASA. Wow, so the whole entire gun is longer too, huh? Crazy. So the front of the gun is probably what? 1/3 of an inch longer or something like that, 1/4 of an inch longer. I mean, maybe you can tell from that picture. I don't know. The foregrip you can definitely see. Wild. 3/8 of an inch. Damn, I hate fractions. They suck so much. 3/8. It'd be so much cooler if we could be like 5 millimeters. You know, like 3/8 inch to millimeters. It's not 38 inches. 3/8. 9.5 millimeters. I'd so rather say that. Oh my god, you can't be kidding me. Goddamn fractions. I hate fractions. I wish didn't we try and like go to the set in the 70s. We tried to like, you know, get rid of this stupid shit. Schwartz, I keep wanting to get back and watch your whole stream, Adrenaline. I know, I thought about it today. I'm like, man, I can't. But I keep forgetting that I only caught part of it when I was at work. Yep. Pretty much. I know, this last week was just crazy. I had so much stuff to do. Went to the doctor, went to the dentist. I helped someone change the oil on their car for some reason. I was like, why don't we just take this to get oil change? It's like $50. It's like, we're spending $30 on oil. Anyway, what else we got here? Man, that's crazy. I didn't think about any of those things. I really didn't think about the gun being like longer. Damn, the foregrip does look way better. Which, I don't know, we're going to have to try it out. You know, one of the things that I kind of, honestly, sometimes don't like about tapered foregrips like that is when I hold the front, it feels like my hand's going to squeeze out, which it obviously does. I'm not going to do that, but like, what gun am I thinking about that it feels like that too? I don't know. The grips are ugly. Yeah, I don't really like the placement of the screen. It just kind of looks off to me. I think it'd have been probably better if it was in the same exact spot that the M3 is. How it's like in the, like the same, you know, it's on the side of the grip frame, but it's like lower. I think that might be a better place for it. Oh well. Did you get your tooth fixed? Kinda. Yeah. Good to go. Adrenaline says, I posted a picture on Facebook with our body behind a stock body superimposed in front of it so you can see top down. All right. Let's see if we can find that picture really fast to compare and contrast. Uh-oh. So the Ghost Sport, or the NXL, The NXL posting their disclaimer, or their, not disclaimer, but something. I don't know, I can't find it. Oh, that's not it. I don't know. I gotta cut and go though. I can't like look forever. More smoke machine. I know it cleared up a little bit. Gotta pay for the smoke machine, right? Oh, somehow. The smoke machine was actually pretty cheap. It was only like $30. I think it was like $40 for the whole thing. But it's still not like, I don't know, it's still not like the whole like mask breathability vent test thing is not working out that well. Do you like the 170R? Jack asked. Yeah, the 170R is great. Absolutely. Yeah. MLG Scooty. Scoodle. I don't know. What's the record? What's the super chat record? Like, for like individual persons doing it, or like total? Okay, that's not going to work like that, is it? Individual persons, 350, I think, or 300. 300 was the most ever. I don't know what the record is for a live stream. It had to have been like that. It had to have been that live stream. What the whole thing was, I don't know, but that was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It was much long time ago. What it is now, I don't know. I mean, definitely most recently, it's got to be Dark Rendition. I mean, he did a $50 one earlier, so it's definitely up there. He's definitely in the top like 5 or something. Oldies, do you have a dog machine in there, man, or your cat dog blowing trees behind you? Neither. There's a fog machine. You think that, like, my cat could hold all that in? Look at that. No dog machine. There's a fog machine. Man, I had a hamster. I did have a hamster when I was like, I don't know, like 10 or 11, 8, 9. He was like blondish hamster. I don't know what happened to him. He probably died of old age. Hamsters are weird. It's just like a weird pet. It's just an odd thing. It's kind of fun. I didn't buy the smoke machine or fog machine. Smog machine. That's what we need. Those are cars. The fog machine. Yeah, I didn't buy it for the live stream, but it's kind of fun to blast it every once in a while. Smog machine, since you're in San Fran area. You know, San Francisco doesn't get foggy anymore either. Isn't that crazy? San Francisco foggy days history. Over time. Graph. Yeah, I don't know. But San Francisco doesn't seem to get as foggy as it used to. I think it's mainly driven by climate change. I don't know. There are less average foggy days in San Francisco now, which is crazy. You know, you're not getting that huge discrepancy between temperatures. Any 90s or early 2000s NPPL or PSP players want to talk about not safe for work Vegas stories? I don't have any of those. I definitely don't. I've been to Vegas like 4 times for paintball. I don't know, I'm trying to think of anything. Probably not. I mean, I don't know. The last tournament I went to, certainly not. I mean, we were at the field so much that, like, I mean, I feel like I was at the field from like 8 a.m. to like 7 p.m. every single day. And by that time, you're like, I just want to go back to the hotel room. You're like, I just want to go lay down. I don't want to have to, like, you know, go out and get hookers or anything like that. And you really can't do drugs anymore. I mean, not that you ever could do drugs, but nowadays it's like, man, you do drugs and you're going to die of a fentanyl overdose. So people should not go do drugs. You know, there's plenty to drink, and you can smoke weed in Vegas now. I mean, some of you guys are probably coming from states that, like, weed's illegal. So you can go buy weed and stuff. That's probably pretty cool. I mean, yeah, you're coming from, like, Ohio or something like that, or Texas or whatever. You can go smoke weed in Vegas. And pro tip for you, if you just get a bunch of little, little vape pens, you can buy those vape pens for probably pretty cheap in Vegas. I'm like $30. And, you could probably get a few of those back with you. You could put them on the plane, put them in your gear bag, and put all your dirty clothes on top. So when they open the bag up, they're just like, oh my God, this is gross. So they don't go digging through your bag. That's what I would do. I would become a smuggler. Heard a dog bark. Man, I want to... There we go. Why won't that open? What is going on? There we go. Having computer weirdness here. Not good advice. Yeah, I don't know. It's really not good advice, but I'm flying with weed if I go somewhere. If I went to Texas, I'd probably fly with it. Some brains. It's been years since I ever looked at a map of Cali. Cali. I take weed on planes all the time. They don't check for it. It says reefer madness. They really don't. I mean, they used to at one point, but they just don't anymore. Like, I mean, I think that, they're probably looking. It gets weird, though, when you walk through those, like, if you got to walk through one of those things that blows air on you. But I think those just check for, like bombs and stuff. They don't necessarily check for, like, whatever. I'd probably put it in my check lug. I'd probably put it in my check bag, too. Brad says to keister stash a vape pen. Yeah, you can do that too. The body scanner. There's that one thing that puffs air on you. It's like, I don't know what the hell it's called. Just put it in your carry-on. That's true too. It depends on how worried you are and how much you're bringing. You don't need to put like 8 cartridges in your carry-on. I'd get kind of maybe nervous about that. Butt chug a bong. I hate bongs. Bongs are the worst. They're so hard to clean. They're such a nightmare. You know what you can do, though? You know what is not a nightmare? Paintball Ruined My Life merch. Over at the paintballruinedmylife.com website, you can buy yourself some merch. And there was one order last week. I don't remember the person's name, But there was a problem with your order, and I emailed you 2 times. So if you're in this live stream for some reason and you ordered something last week, check your email. But you can go over there and buy a 3-pack of headbands for $75. You can pick which headbands you want, you know. You got Matt right there. Matt might be in here. No, I don't know, maybe not. You can... I gotta click on the actual window. You can pick whichever headbands you want. You could purchase this cool hat. Oh no, I thought I had that hat on. I had this hat on earlier. The Quake hat. They're $30. Go support your local paintball YouTuber. There's some shirts on there. Gotta make money. So go buy stuff. You can find the Shocker Era video on there. And some information. Make sure to look at the Paintball Ruined My Life merch store. It's one of the ways we keep the lights on around here. If you're an Infamous, you can just roll with a pound of cocaine whenever you want. Just like, what's his name? Who are we talking about right now? Which Infamous player got in trouble transporting way too much drugs across the international border? Zach Patient. There we go. I was like, I can see his face. I can see his face. But I can't, I just can't put it down. Apparently, Matt the Gym Rat is playing semi-pro in Vegas. Well, that's good. That's cool. He seems like a really nice guy. I've not talked to him. I have, man. Oh, my God. There's just so many little things I've got to be doing. I do have him on a list of people that I, at some point, want to try to have on as guests during the live stream. And he is one of those people. I don't know where the hell those people list is, but I don't know. Is he in jail, Zach Patient? I don't really know. I have no idea. I think he got caught or got in trouble at some point last year and kind of hit the bricks or something happened. I don't know. Well, I got nothing to talk about. Give me something to talk about. Let's get this chat room chatting, or I'm going to go. Because I got to have something to talk about. I feel like it's crazy me standing here just trying to riff and not got nothing to talk about. Give me paintball questions. What are your burning paintball questions? Or questions about anything? We could talk about fitness. We could talk about trains. We could talk about different types of wood. Anything. Hit me with them. Zach Patient missed 2 events last year, played Cup, and should be playing Vegas. Really? With who? Is he playing with Infamous? Zach Patient. Let's see. We're researching Zach Patient, and stuff's going kind of slow. My, PB Leagues is having problems. Zach Patient is playing with Infamous. I mean, he's on the roster for all the tournaments last year. But he's on the roster in Vegas, so I guess he's staying out of prison or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. No one's asking me questions about wood. Will Dye ever fix the DLS? Probably not. I mean, they certainly have. They had their bolt upgrades and other stuff, but I know that there's people still having weird phantom problems with those guns. And you know, I'd be shocked if they ever spent more money on it, because it's hard, right? I mean, there's only 500 people with those guns. So, you know, it's not like they, you know, sold thousands and thousands of them. So there's not tons of customers with them. So it's hard to like invest and spend the money in researching and developing all these fixes and whatever. Some brains, what's better, morning wood or evening wood? God, it's got to be evening. I mean, right? In the morning, you're waking up and it's like nothing's going on. Like maybe you had a spicy dream, or maybe you just go to the bathroom. Most of the time I think it's because I go to the bathroom. Evening. It's got to be the evening. I mean, come on. Come on. I don't know. It could be good in the morning, too. It just matters who you're next to and what it's like. How the day's going. I don't know. I said ask me wood questions. Here's one. Schwartz, 100-year-old pine or new oak? See, I don't actually know anything about wood. I just looked over and saw my plant, and it's got like a wood thing on the top, wood thing. So I don't know anything about wood. Whew, I don't know, though. You know, 100-year-old wood. I don't know, you know. I don't know. I know I like oak. Oak's nice wood. Oak reminds me of like craftsman-style houses, and I really like craftsman-style houses. Oh, no farts. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have gas that much, which is weird because I've been, you know, I fart like every other live stream, but I don't typically I'm not typically gassy. I definitely want to do a new segment. I think I want to try to do some sort of, but it's really hard to do like, I don't know. Schwartz says, I'm salvaging old pine from my house and making trim out of it and even going to make cabinets from it. That's pretty cool. That's really neat, like reclaimed wood and stuff. I think it's really cool because you have like, there's like stories behind this stuff, right? You can be like, this is where it came from and this is why we have it and like all that stuff. I think it's really kind of cool. I like making like things from old things. This is kind of cool. Has a nice like there's a little story behind it. Bring back the skunk. Is that me farting? My farts don't really smell either. What's that say about me? I don't know. It could be good. It could be a bad thing. There's a little bang outside. All right, guys. Well, this is dying. We're fading off. We're fading off unless you guys give me some to talk about. Is that too zoomed in? Like this. Getting back, here we go. Getting back into it for like the third time since college. Paintball, I presume. Picked up an LV2 recently and hoping to fill for a D5 team. Not too many players in Nebraska. Yeah, that's probably true. There used to be a pro team in Nebraska, Omaha Vicious. Yep. How about a PSA about gambling being bad? Yeah, I don't know, man. I have like, I was listening to somebody else talk about gambling too the other day, and like, I was like, they're like, there's all these addictions we have, like you could be a sex addict, you could be like a heroin addict, you could be, a computer, you could be a video game addict, you could, be a gambling addict. But gambling certainly has like some of the biggest consequences, even over like those other crazy dangerous things, like obviously you can die from heroin. That's a hell of a consequence, but you're not spending or like risking as much almost, right? Because you think about gambling and like it just continually escalates, right? Where like with like heroin and all these things, obviously it can continually escalate. But you're, gambling, you're spending all your money. It's like you're just wasting all your money. And, for me, it just seemed like when I was into it, right? We'd go to the casino when I was like 18 to like 23 or 4 or something like that. And I get it. Like, it's kind of exciting and it's kind of fun because there's like a risk reward thing that makes it kind of interesting. But, I could never spend more than like $100 because it's like, I'm just going to lose. Like, it never made logical sense to me because I'm just going to lose. Like, no matter what, you're going to lose. Like, it's just how it works. How do you think the casinos and like DraftKings and all these things are in business? Because you're going to lose. Your odds could be 99%, but they're still, or you're not 99%, I don't know what I'm talking about. I confused the shit out of myself. I don't know. But the odds are just they're obviously in the favor of the place. So it just never really sunk into me. And I didn't really get a rush from gambling. I'd lose and just be like, God, that sucked. What the fuck did I do that for? Just seemed crazy to me. And there's all this talk about like gambling and paintball and stuff. And I don't know. Like I went to their website, that paintball gambling. I don't even know. You put it into Google and nothing comes up, and I don't remember. Their freaking website, whatever was taking bets and stuff. So I don't know. I'm not all into gambling. I know that for a lot of sports, it's helped. For the NFL, for the NBA, baseball, it's helped quite a bit increase their viewership. But at the same time, it's but it's people gambling and they're wasting money. I don't know. I have too much something. I just couldn't. I don't know if I could encourage people to gamble just to get paintball to grow. That's just stupid. I don't think it's going to do anything. Anyway, some people get a huge dopamine rush when they you guys type too fast sometimes. Some people get a huge dopamine rush so they are always chasing the dragon despite how much they lose. For sure. I've even heard people talk about that losing is even more of the addiction too, because when you win, you're yeah. But when you lose, it's just this huge catastrophe. People are losing tens of thousands of dollars, and you lost your entire savings or your kid's college fund or something crazy, and those are big, huge, crazy consequences that for some people makes their life exciting or something. I don't know. Who does? Short says, some brands I looked at the site. And it's super weird to add money to the account. It's super weird to add money to the account, so I didn't even try it using random ways to add money. It's just a turnoff. Yeah, you can't you have to connect it weirdly. You gotta maybe send money somewhere else and then it comes back. Jordan, integrity. Yeah, that's a good word, I guess. I don't like to say I have too much integrity to do that. But it just feels I don't know. It's hard for me to take advantage of people like that, That's why you should go over to the Paintball Ruined My Life. Damn it. I thought that it was going to be open. Oh, you're good. No one types right. It's half the time I'm reading it and I'm what? I have to decipher. Taryn, you gonna be in Vegas, Brad? No, I will not be. Brad will not be there. He will be here in Sacramento. I'm going to do a live stream on Saturday, though, probably at 12 p.m., 12:05, 12:10, somewhere in there. And I'm going to do a, I don't know, like a companion stream for Go Sports. I'll have the score on the screen and stuff like that. Yup. That's a tragedy. No integrity. Integrity? Was it Integrity Farms? Integrity Farms was on South Park, right? Integrity Farms? Oops. Was it Integrity Farms? Tegrity. Just Tegrity. Tegrity Farms. Tegrity Farms. South Park's great. Tegrity. Tegrity Farms. I don't really watch South Park, though. I just never really I don't know, I love it. It's a great show. I shouldn't say I love it. I don't watch it, but I don't know, I just never got into it. Eric Burke, Brad, everyone asks questions about gear. What do you think guys should actually be focusing on to get better at the game? Especially since modern markers are so evenly matched. I don't know. I think that paintball is very difficult, right? I think that if we were in a lot of other sports, right? If we were in, we were talking about basketball or hockey or high-lie, maybe you're into field hockey, I think that most sports, including paintball, this isn't excluding paintball, but most sports are pretty easy to practice, say we're, a quarterback, or I'm a pitcher, or, I'm a hitter of baseball, or I play cricket, whatever. You could, go, throw that ball through tires. You could practice off if you're hitting, you could practice, form on a tee, and you could hit a ball off a tee. But paintball, it's so much of this sport is just based off shooting, right? I mean, you need to be good at laning and snap shooting, and there's all these different things, running and shooting. But it's extremely hard to practice those things unless you have 3 acres in your backyard or 4 acres and a bunch of extra paint and money. It's really kind of difficult to just practice, right? It's really hard to do just drills. I mean, we're constantly saying oh, you got to do drills, but it's where do I do drills? I don't have anywhere to do that at. I can't just be hey guys, get off the field now. I'm going to do snap shooting drills. Everyone look at me what are you talking about, dude? We came out here to play paintball. So it's very hard to just do drills. Extra hydrated? Says communication for sure. Communication is one of those things that you need to be aware of when you're playing. You got to be all right, I'm going to work on this and this and this today. Whether it's communication or being really accurate at shooting off the break, but communication is one of those things you for sure should. It's hard to say practice, but be aware of and focus. Really, like Eric said, be focusing on. Communication is something you need to be focused on. I think for really new players, one of the things that you watch pro players, or I feel myself even, right, is that I'm very, very adept to holding paintball guns in my hand, right? I have a tank and a hopper on, and the thing's all set up, right? I can throw it in the air and catch it. I can throw it to my other hand. I can do the gun spin thing on my finger. So I think that being very good at holding your equipment too is also important, and that's something you can just do, right? You can just walk around with a paintball gun. You're not really, but you can't go to the grocery store, but you can have your gun fully loaded up at home and just be carrying it around all the time and just be extremely comfortable with it in your hands. I mean, that's something you can do at home. But it's really difficult to actually do drills and get better. One thing that I want to try to do is, I have a problem with making these videos and doing shooting videos, right? I got to buy a case of paint every time I want to do it. And it's just like such a waste. I'm just like shooting into nothing. It's just like pointless. So one thing I want to try to do is get, still have paint, but I want to try to build like a net so I can shoot the net. What the hell's that? I can shoot the net and the ball just falls down and have like some sort of catch at the bottom. That's something you could totally build and to work at like shooting and stuff like that to not waste paint. But practice, I don't know. It's really hard. We're talking about practice, man. Practice? I mean, Alan, he gave 100% in the game. He gave everything to basketball. That's what he's trying to say. He's like, I gave everything to you. Eric says, haven't played competitively in years. The last tournament was 2009. Has tournament ball changed that much since then, aside from 10.2 cap and everything being 5-man? Yes and no, right? Like, you can just go play. It's not going to be like, oh my God, what are they doing now? It's not like that crazy. I would say there's probably a big skill difference, though. I think that everyone's better. Everyone's gotten considerably better. I think that because of the internet and watching videos and just being more content for paintball, people are able to watch the stuff and kind of learn and just see people's form and kind of start emulating more pro players. So I think that the biggest thing is people are just way better. I think that like Division 4 paintball tournaments is really kind of like Division 5 now. And Division 4... Okay, I'm going to confuse myself. In 2009, Division 4 players are probably like Division 3 players now. So like the divisions have kind of like shifted, so people are like playing kind of up a division. It's not like they're like cheating, it's just that the skill level has gotten just way better. I remember my first 3-man tournament and we were terrible. Everyone was terrible, but now you watch it and you're like, damn, these kids are actually pretty good. And I think it's just from, playing so much. Yeah, I've played Rex since then for sure, but no tournament play. Yeah, it's not really all that much different. It's just like people are just better. But I also think that that's something you'll like pick up on fairly fast. It's not like, you got to play for 2 more years to be just as good. Everyone plays tighter. Everyone's going to be faster and just better at shooting and all kinds of stuff. Jordan, I've talked with a couple of pros who believe that D4 is about equivalent to early 2000s pros. Yeah, probably. I mean, I think about like some of the D4 players I know now, and I'm technically Division 4, and you want to think like maybe 2000, 2001, 2002, probably only then, but I think like I don't think that 2003 Dynasty would be losing to too many Division 4 teams nowadays, Dynasty was kind of a standout, though. Dynasty was so much better than everybody, though. Go watch Trauma Head. Pro play from that era is hilarious to watch. It really is. Let's see. There was some stuff I've been using... I don't know. But yeah, if you go watch old videos, guys are like shooting all crazy and they like don't play in their bunkers right and stuff. But the game's it's just better. Everyone's just more refined and kind of like tightened up, I would say. Eric, my 170R and LV2s are freaking spaceships compared to my old SFT. That's for sure. For sure. And that's kind of one thing too, I think that the game has gotten better because we've been able to, right? I think that like back in the day, 2009 even, and certainly earlier, we had so many equipment problems. It was just hard to get better. You know, you'd have like points in matches where equipment would go down all the time. You won an Adrenaline Luxe Idol in a raffle. Well, that's pretty cool. That's an expensive ass gun. I'm going to buy one and raffle it off too. Yeah, so I think that the guns and equipment reliability has allowed us to get better as well. You know, paints, I don't know. The guns are better at handling broken paint or fragile paint, so we're not breaking paint anymore, and everything's just so much more reliable. Jordan, the only thing I think used to be better was paint. Yeah, I don't know, right? Like, I can't really remember. I don't really remember. I think that like the paint's certainly more brittle now, which is good. Our guns can shoot that super brittle paint. The paint's no question more brittle now. I mean, just all around, it's more brittle. But that's probably about all. I mean, it's so small now. I mean, it's extremely small. I mean, like last weekend, I was trying to do that goddamn adrenaline barrel test again, and I couldn't find paint that fit in a barrel. I mean, it was all barely fitting and sometimes rolling out of a 6.76 barrel. Like, that's so small. And I don't even have an insert smaller than that. So I think that the bigger paint was probably better. I don't know if it was more consistently round, but it was definitely bigger, which makes it more accurate and shoot further and, you know, leaves a better mark and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. But I really don't remember the paint from back in the day. Like, I just don't really remember. But people complain about that all the time. And Jordan, you said right there, probably rose-colored glasses or nostalgia. That's kind of what I think it is. And I think people just like to complain, too. So there's that. You know, if there's anything to complain about, paintball players are going to complain. Eric, I remember playing with Monster Ball back in middle school. I was going to say back in the day. That wasn't paint. Those were boxes, full 2,000 marbles. Yeah, that's kind of why they banned it a lot of places. I mean, like, many paintball fields don't allow blue fill. And it was specifically to try to limit Monster Ball, because Monster Ball was always a blue fill. So they were just like, yeah, you can't have blue fill anymore. So everyone just kind of didn't do it. I heard paint was way more expensive than it is today. Yeah, it probably depends on how far we go back. I mean, if you're talking about like the mid-90s, I mean, paint was $100 for 2,000 round or 2,500 round boxes. It was like $100 to $120 in the 90s. We started getting stuff at about, I'd say, 60-ish, $50 to $70, probably like late 90s. The Adrenaline right there, $100 a case at a tournament as well, which is crazy. This is crazy. This is wild. It's a lot of money. And I want to say like 2005 and 6, there was paint that was like 30-ish to 25. You could find it. It wasn't normally that good, but it was cheap. And we've kind of been at that like $40 to $50 box for a while now. I mean, these last 2 years, the prices have certainly gone up about really like $10-ish, I guess. That would probably be about average. In the early 2000s, I think we paid $65 a case for tournament grade. Yeah, that's probably right. It used to be a ton of money, though. I mean, it was $100 a case. Just Tech Skirmish, it is still a $99 a case, and has been since I worked there in the mid-2000s. Skirmish is weird, though. They're probably like field paint only, though. It's so hard to talk about paint prices, too, because it truly matters where you're at. You know, like in California, it's probably going to be the cheapest just to buy, not counting like field paint only places. But if you go to a paintball store, California is probably going to have some of the lower prices, mainly because where it's shipped from. I mean, there's paint manufacturers in Mexico. There's one in LA. GI Sports is opening or Core is opening their new facility or reopening a facility in Nevada. So we have stuff close, just like Florida. I mean, well, actually, I don't know if Florida has any paint plants anymore, honestly. 2000s, 60 to 75 was Hellfire Ultimate, and Ultra Evil off the truck. I don't remember what we paid, honestly, at tournaments. I really don't remember. Because I never handled that stuff. Like when we played PSP, I didn't even have anything to do with it. I never paid for it at all. I mean, I did, but I didn't we pooled it all up and paid individually or paid by dividing it up or whatever. I've never even seen a field that wasn't field paint only. Yeah, I mean, again, California, I mean, there's still paintball fields around here that aren't field paint only. I bring my own paint every time I play. But most fields are. And I kind of get it. I mean, they make money. But I also kind of think that they should have reasonable pricing. Like here at Capital Edge, I think they charge $60 or $55 or something like that for a 2,000 box. But it's like level 3. It's been recently level 3 and level 4 HK stuff. So it's not shitty. It's not like 1 star. You're not shooting Monster Ball or something like that. Fields in California were mostly bring your own paint. That was the norm. And I don't really know now. I mean, I go to the same place over and over and over, so I don't even venture out to other places. But definitely Capital Edge used to be field paint only, or bring your own paint, but now it's definitely field paint only with some exceptions and stuff, but for the most part it is. Paintball pricing. And I don't think it's ever going to get cheaper. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to see cheaper paint unless some new way to make paintballs becomes a thing, or if for some reason, I don't know, Mark Zuckerberg quits jiu-jitsu and plays paintball and it's free paint for everybody. That's probably not going to get much cheaper. Wish the fields near me ran Dynasty paint. I want to smell like nanners. There's some of it around here, but it's so small. It's micro size. It's I mean, it rolls. I talked about that way. It rolls straight through the 676 insert. So even in the Freak kit, there's not even an insert. They don't even they do sell an insert that's smaller, but they don't even come in the regular Freak kit thingy. Hydrotech come back. Maybe Hydrotech? Hydrotech. I've actually talked about that in a video that's coming out next week. Hydrotech. Yeah, some brands. I thought about that too. HK's also selling that $20 stuff, just like Adrenaline, I think, said. It looks like there are. It looks like there's a paint price war in Vegas. It's $20 a case this weekend, right? I don't know if it's all $20 or if it's just the Giants are playing the Dodgers. I don't know if it's just the HK stuff, though. I'm pretty sure it's just HK, unless everybody saw their pricing and was like, shit, we got to sell paint cheaper now. I don't even know how that works, though, because we used to have to, pre-order stuff or, tell the manufacturers how much we wanted and stuff. Well, I don't know. X Factor sells 2-star for $50. Dynasty and Draxus for $5 more. Local Academy store sells HK level 2 paint for $40. Oh, that's not bad. Those are all really good prices. I mean, $50 is fine for field paint price. Is Dynasty worth $2, $5 more? Probably. I would say it probably is. Although it's just been so goddamn small. HK said they're selling the paint in Vegas at a loss. I know, I saw that, and I don't really... Why? I don't really understand why. What about other paint controversies of GI making the mandatory pink shell? I don't know if it was GI's. Was it GI's like idea, or was it like the NXL's idea to make it split shell? I don't know. I personally don't think it matters. I mean, I don't think it shows up on camera anyway. I mean, we're always like, it's going to show up on camera. I'd be like, have you guys watched this? I mean, you can't see paint in the air on camera. I mean, we're, first of all, not using the right cameras, and none of us are watching it back at the right, like, frame rate for it to matter. So it's like, I don't think it matters. I mean, maybe it's better than black shell, but I don't know. I mean, we've done this many times before. There have been other, like, rules that the NXL or, like, the PSP or the Millennium Series have made to make it more bright so you can see it on camera better, but I don't know. I just think it's nonsense. It's crazy. No, the NXL mandated pink shell and GI made half pink, half purple. I saw that, but I wasn't really sure what... I saw, like, some stuff on Instagram that was like, the new paint. And I was like, that's half pink, half purple. But I didn't really think anything about it. I was just like, That is kind of funny, though. I think they did that before, too. Jordan, as a player, I personally think it's more fun to play with bright shells. I can't even see the dark stuff. I mean, if it's like a dark blue or like that dark purple, like I can't even see it. Like it like disappears in my eyes. Like I can't see it. So for me personally, I like that bright shell just because I can see it, see what I'm shooting at a little bit better. But I also understand, you know, a lot of the players like that dark shell so that their opponents can't see it as easier. So I think if the pros had their option, they'd probably choose like black or dark or something like that too. Let's just play events at night with glow paint. I'm down. I mean, I want to do it so bad. I'd love to be able to go out to Texas. I mean, it just looks like so much fun. It looks great. Short says, Verbal has a nice video where you can definitely see the paint streams better with the brighter shell. Yeah. I don't know. That's the problem too, though. Like, when I think about that stuff, I think about like Go Sports. You know, I think that they want it to show up better on like Go Sports footage. I think if you're filming it correctly with like real cameras, like he is, you can make that. You can make the paint show up, but it's got to be. You really should be filming at like 60 frames a second and stuff. And I don't know. I'd like to see like a comparison though. I'd like to see like on the live stream, like a comparison. Like here is black and here is white. Yeah, I just think that the like, obviously the quality on the Go Sports stuff is not good enough. So it's going to take like, it's going to take those paintballs and it's going to compress the shit out of it. So it's like, there's so much compression running through the video. It's just not going to look right. I think. Ooh. My throat's getting tired of talking. All right, we're going. I want to go eat. I don't know what I'm going to eat. What am I going to eat for dinner? I might just make baked potato. A baked potato and have some chicken that I made last night. Oh, maybe. All right, guys. I'm outie. Guys who super chatted, you're so amazing. Like it's so much helpful. I mean, again, this is one of the only way I can really do this because of you guys. Dark Rendition killing us tonight. Schwartz with super chat. We got Flick Freaks. with that super chat. We got Jordan with a super chat. Manuel Vera with a super chat. Chris Williams, Adrenaline. You guys are great. And without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. Fried chicken. Buffalo chicken wrap. Well, that sounds pretty good. Jeez. No, I want buffalo chicken. Make yourself a gosh darn quesadilla. I don't have any tortillas, though. Damn, that's a good idea, too. I like that, Jordan. I'm always looking for new ideas for chicken. So that's a perfect. I can make chicken quesadillas, but I don't have any tortillas. Do I want to go to the store? Nah, I'm not going to go to the grocery store. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'll be back Saturday. We're going to shoot for, like 12 o'clock. I want to watch there's a 12 o'clock or 12:15 game that I'll be ready for. So at least by 12:15. At the latest, 12:15. Damn, Eric. Hot dog flavored water. I just want some hot dogs. Dude, I haven't had a hot dog in so long. I used to buy bratwurst. There was like one summer, like 10 years ago, maybe longer, 12 years ago, where I was like eating bratwurst like every day for like a month and a half. I was like grilling bratwurst every day. That's funny. Damn, bratwursts. Come back Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll watch some NXL together. I'm going to go eat food.